everybody. Uh, we're gonna get back on to the painting here, and I realized that I didn't turn the air compressor on, so we got to turn the air compressor on. Be right back. And I gotta do up the laptop. Alrighty, I'm all set, and let's start doing some airbrushing. Oh, I gotta get that hose. That close by. I think I'll be all right. First color I want to do, how I got the circle here, I did not put one there. So we're gonna mess around this area. See, it's right there. Or, no, you can't see it. What I need to do? Well, can't do it that way. I'll do it up like that a little bit. Move you back and up. This piece has been a little challenging, but that's okay. I like the challenge. I'm gonna do this color first. And you know what? I'm gonna put them away because we really don't need these right now. If I do use them. Let's get the airbrush here. We'll throw that over here. Throw this up here. That right there. Always put the lid back on your paint. Turn that up a little bit. Whoop, wrong one. All right, and I forgot my eyes. Start with that. Clean the eyeglasses off.
Alright, so these tracks really kind of redeem themselves here in the beginning of this video. I kind of showed what they're not good at. Up in this deep snow, it works. I mean, I just towed something uphill, and we came thousands of feet up in elevation. It's moving, it's going. And with this thing here, yeah. And with this guy.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
This area here.
One of my friends got one Kawasaki similar to it, and it's pretty cool, so I figured I'd get one. So yeah, I figured this would be a fun thing to have. I'd probably do a little bit of work with
Where's
it,
it at?
but most
Where did I keep them at?
So
Instead of gonna put them
so
somewhere.
yeah, I just got it, so let me take it for a test drive.
That one. All of them out.
Alright, so the guy I bought this from said it worked good, and I test drove it at his house, but he lived in like a city, and there was no room to really drive it. I just drove it around his yard. Now that I have it at my house where there's space to drive it, the transmission isn't working properly. It's got like a belt drive. I think this has like a belt drive transmission like a snowmobile, and it feels like it's sticking or something where it's like being in a car that you can't get out of first gear. So let me tear into it and see what's going on. Alright, so I've been messing with it for a little while here, kind of off camera. This is what's going on. So this here is the primary drive clutch. And the way this thing gears itself higher is just like a snowmobile. When this has weights and stuff in it, and once it spins faster, this thing squeezes smaller, and this belt rides higher up into here, and then the secondary clutch kind of gets smaller. So I put this apart. I have it back together now, but I need to do stuff. I'll take this apart and show you what's going on. In case you're working on it and you've been wondering how to get this belt cover off, this hose here, that has to be unbolted.
Good morning, Patty.
How to get that out of there, but that's how you do it. Alright, so I'm going to take this back apart and I'll show you what's going on. Alright, let me actually show you what's wrong with the transmission. So I got the rear wheels up and down. Alright, and the transmission cover off and start it up. To the drive. Alright, so now it's in drive. Just on the gas. Watch what happens.
How's Patty doing today
It's
this
stretched
morning?
out. It doesn't go enough. That belt should make it all the way to the end of this pulley. Alright, so here's the primary clutch. So let me explain how this works.
Alright, that's that color.
Full of the nastiest grease I've ever seen.
And
People say you can like fix these, but see what happens to mine. And when it's too fast, they need to switch the pitch, make the clutch move. What happens, these things hold up, they're putting the weights into it, so the weights were falling out and just kind of falling sideways and ended up, you know, like that. So this isn't fixable. It just needs to be replaced.
yes, we are. We're above the dirt, and we're in the clouds too right now on the computer. Doing good, doing good. My sleep schedule is still messed up, but that's all right. That's a part of retirement.
The secondary clutch by threading one of these bolts into it. See how loose the belt is now? There you go.
All right, that's what I wanted on that.
This can go back on.
That's the white. See, over here, this is supposed to be like a circle like I did there. So I'm going to do the same thing.
All back together, the wheels are still off the ground. We'll start it up and try it and see what happens. Now we're looking at this area right here. This
And,
belt should be about the end.
all of it so far that I have done on this has been airbrush only, no paintbrush, even down to the small little lines and that. I'm trying to get better with the airbrush alone. Oh no, this picture, I gotta take this picture down. Come to find out, for some reason, when I developed this, it ended up being worse than the original. Because she should not look like that. Drew Blair's image is a lot better. But I could go with that somewhat. But really, Drew Blair's, the School of Realism, is this way. Compared to what I got, it's completely different. I'm like, dang, if I had this from the beginning, I would have been a lot better. But I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. But I think I still got her done pretty good, but the background would have been better. Kind of makes a difference, and then it kind of doesn't, because like I said, I'm gonna do it in my style on that. But I think I'm pretty close on everything. And then just I figured now I'm gonna start coughing. Let's get out the circle. I got the big shield here going. They all this time I was going by what I had there, and this is the way it is. But then these ain't completely circled. You can see how they are. They're kind of circled, but they're added. He added more around it. And then how I got it up on, how you see it up on here. Now it's, you can see how the lines are really there. I didn't notice that before. Definitely could tell the difference between what I cop, two different copies. I'm close, but that's all right. That's all right. I'm still happy with it. Like how that all three copies, cause like how the difference is in the copies and that. Well, really, I did this one bigger, but that's still all right. I mean, Drew Blair. I mean, he's the one. He's good at it. I'm following the. Uh, what I have is the let's see, the Epson. Yeah, I have the Epson printer. It's just whatever I have on my phone, picture wise, I can send it to the printer and it prints me out that picture. Any photo that I have on my phone. I take pictures or something like that, it prints it out. Alright, so I wanted to do blue. And I really don't blame that on the printer. The where I copied it from, or how I got that cop. I forget how I did it. It's all to do with where I got the copy from. It's nothing the printer or the Epson my Epson copy machine.
Clean up all the leaves and stuff that were in my hot tub area here. You know, So the ground is nice and clean now.
We gotta. Alright, I wanna put that circle up there.
And check this out. I added this television to this year, so that's kind of nice. You don't have to unscrew these all the way. That's a slot.
Timothy! How's Tim today? Yep, I'm sure you have some classes to teach. Thanks for coming on by, Tim. Tim, I was just telling Patty how the copy that I've been going by is this on to her, and about that I had the wrong kind of copy. The way I did it somehow off my phone with the thing, but I ended up I got a better copy, and this is the way the painting's supposed to look like. But we're in between, so I'm going to be in between how this is, and how that is, and how mine is. It all doesn't matter to me, just as long as I'm close, get to the point to where I can say that's good enough. I mean, like I ain't gonna get into all these little details and stuff like that. I'm not going to get precise of everything, but I'm kind of close. It's a painter's choice or a prerogative. I guess that's how you say it. But I like this one. I wish I would have had this one more from the get go than the one I have up there. But still, she's kind of where I like her being at right now. Just adding all the stuff like so you could tell that it's a hair and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. And the stained glass in the background, kind of the way I was taking the painting myself when I seen it the first time. Okay, now so this circles. I'm gonna try to come close to that. See how it's there and there. It's not a complete circle, but it lets you know it's there. So we're going to take it in just a little bit. All right. Now, let's come in here. Yes, now I got Tim's up there with the white in it. Tim's airbrush shoots really good with that white and arm mixture, and then I got the Evolution, whatchamacallit, paintbrush, airbrush, air gun, whatever.
Put that piece on there. Okay, so this is everything I have done to make this thing quieter. I added this insulation right here. I relocated the air intake. It was right here between the seats. Now it goes up and out a little further away. And I added insulation to the bottom of this cover where the intake used to come up. I don't really see much more I can do to it to make it quieter. Let's see what kind of results we got.
Oh, my logo? I haven't really started on that yet.
And I'm doing the rear brakes have been grinding for a while on this. You can see the rotor's a little messed up,
Um,
but it's smooth. It's all right. And the brake pads,
I really want to get
nothing left
further along on
so
this
I
one
just
before
take
I
this apart from the
do
bottom
start
and
that
put
one,
it
but
back
I
in
do
there
need to
with
do that
wire
one.
standing up.
My own
But I tried
personal
getting the gas
sign.
bumper out through here and it wasn't happening. So let's get these new brake pads installed.
Yeah, I like focusing. And sometimes I like,
The new ones here. There's some back plates that need to come off and get
well,
that
all the
grinding
time,
noise.
really. If I do a job for somebody, I want them to be really happy, and it doesn't matter. It's got to be to my satisfaction, but really to their satisfaction. I value, always have, even when I was working, a customer's compliment, or I want their car, like when I was painting and uh, buffing people's cars and that, I want the car to be better than what they bought. Like if they bought it brand new off the showroom floor, I want it to shine. I want it to shine a lot better than what they bought off the showroom
Alright, so
floor.
that's good. So this gap here, you know, that's,
Took
you want it where
pride.
it's wide enough to get out the
Pride in
brake
the
line.
work is something that some people don't understand. And I was raised on pride. Take
Yeah, these
pride
need
in
to
your
start
work.
as well.
Had my nephew was here. Well, he lives upstairs. My nephew, and uh, he came down because his mother left. His mother and his sister left, and he was upstairs alone. I guess he wondered where they went to, and while he was down here, I handed him the paint gun, and I took a piece of paper, hand the paint gun. I said, "Go ahead and do something on that paper." He did it, and he splattered it all around. I said, I told him, I said, "Here's how you do the trigger and everything." And then I said, "You got to do it really small." I said, "Just ease back on the trigger and do your name out." And it did darn good. Uh, that's what I remember hearing a Drew Blair interview with him, and he said it's amazing when you give the kids this kind of a
Alright,
gun,
these fronts weren't
they
making
go
any
right
noise,
at it,
but
and you just
the
show them a couple things.
brake pad set I ordered
And
came
darn if
wrong,
that
so
didn't happen. And then
we
he's
got two
like,
different part numbers here, so they're gonna be
I
different on
don't
each
know,
side. But let's just throw these in here.
9 or younger or something like that. But I was so amazed how he did it. Well, I think he's only in the third grade, so yeah, close to that. Third or second grade. Might be the second grade. Third grade. It's got to be third grade. I was amazed at how he got it. Right away, he just went there.
Oh wow.
He did. He's holding it like
Alright,
He was standing back from it, and he put his name out there. Real small because of how I was doing it here. Can you? Oh, you can't see off there. But I mean, he. I'll do it there. Let's see it on the screen. But I told him I said, do it real small. Do your name. I said it just takes a little bit. See, I could barely do it myself.
Alright, so that's good. This thing is moved back all the way, and the pistons are pushed in all the way.
I'm trying to get better at doing this.
Alright, so here's your old brake pads. Here's the new ones. Let's just figure
Even
out
though
what
it's
size we need.
splattering around.
And that looks wrong, so it's probably these. Alright, these ones.
There.
We'll go that way. We'll just do it.
There you go. Their mind is amazing. Yeah, there you go. I did mine. But like I said, I'm up close on doing it. He was like standing back doing it with just one hand. I'm holding it with two hands. And he thought it was fun. That's what he told his mother.
I might need to bleed it.
She said he really enjoyed that.
On this side, I mean, the exact same thing's gonna happen.
Never know. He'd probably come back down.
I'll just throw this together.
He wants to come down and learn.
Right side, that went a little bit smoother
I'll
than
try
the
to
left.
set something
So let
up
me see
for
how
him.
these brakes feel if I need to bleed them. No, probably.
Alright, I don't know if you can see down
Yeah,
here.
they feel good.
I gotta let that go. I got a lot of paint on that.
No,
Let me
this
tilt
doesn't
you
even-
down
Yeah, they feel good. This
at
doesn't
the
have
bottom.
vacuum-assisted brakes like a car does.
Now you see how her dress is and see what mine is. So we're gonna
Brake feels good. That's right where
kind
it
of
was.
do it up a little bit.
That's nice. The brakes are nice and quiet now. I should have filmed it before. They were screeching so loud. Sounded like it was like melting something. Let's go try it out at high speed. Let's quit getting this thing now. Alright, I've had this thing a few months now, and I definitely like it. I want to do a few little upgrades to it now. I just picked up this winch. I'm going to install that up front. Now, the thing barely needs the winch. I mean, to get this thing stuck, you got to be trying to get it stuck. Because with just the way it's set up, with the independent suspension, the whole bottom of the thing is completely flat. It's got a front differential locker. It is extremely hard to get this thing stuck, but not impossible. And when it does get stuck, if nobody's around, it is too heavy to get out by hand. So having that one could be nice. And I also want to add some extra lights to the front. Been driving the thing at night a lot, and these exteriors go on with these lights, but it's not the same as having like one of those nice light bars. Those are so much brighter. And the other thing, probably the most important thing I'm going to do right now, is I want to add a little more protection to this front bumper. The bumper that's on here, you know, it's alright, but I mean, one, this piece missing that's go through right there. And, you know, this is just garbage plastic that doesn't do anything. And the radiator is right up in there, so I want to protect that a little bit better. So I know there's aftermarket bumpers available for this thing, but I'm gonna just make something instead. All right, let's get to work on the windshield bumper first. Get this bar to go off of here. All right, so I know I'm throwing this out, but I want to keep it because I want it to still look kind of factory, but not made out of plastic. This plate, it's welded on there good, but it needs a little more strength. It needs to be attached like this somehow.
Yeah.
Alright, that's what I did for that. I added that rebar in there. I think that'll be fine. Alright, so it's bolted back on there loosely. Now I need to replace this piece that's missing. It'd be nice if the previous owner didn't lose the piece, but I don't have it. So this pipe is about the same diameter, and the wall thickness is a drop thicker, but it's okay. So it pretty much goes something like this. Now they have to bend about an inch past where it's welded, so I may have to put a little bend on this. Yeah, that looks about the same. So now I'll cut it here and right here. Alright, that welded on there nicely, and that looks like, you know, perfect. So note on this, this gray coating like this is called galvanized, and you don't want to breathe that. So, like, whenever I'm pretty much outside here, and whenever I'm welding it, I'm pretty much not breathing in. So, this isn't plumbing pipe. This is like from a fence, and because the wall thickness of plumbing pipe would be too thick. There wouldn't be any advantage to having those heavy pieces on here. You know, the wall thickness of this is probably just a drop thicker than this, which really, this is a little too thin. This is probably perfect for this bumper. Alright, so now my plan is to add, I'm going to throw the winch on there to make sure I don't make any clearance issues, and then add a few more pipes in here to protect stuff. The only way I can design, I'll take another piece of this tubing and probably put it right about there. And then this area could be filled in with mesh. And then I'll take more tubing and do something, I don't know, maybe something like that. And I'll just make sure I'll just, it could be here, it could be way towards the end. Yeah, just so there's no clearance issues with the tire. The tire has to not rub when it's fully turned and fully compressed. There is a thing called a tubing notcher. I should probably buy one.
Yeah, that's a lot.
All right, everything I can get to is welded.
And it seemed like putting paint on this glass,
All right, I just finished
it
welding
seemed
a
like
couple
it,
of joints on
you
this.
need to go a lot more when you do the paint on the glass
No,
like
you
this.
can fool that.
Make sure you clean. You always got to make sure that's dry there.
All right, so you know what's nice about working on a lift? I kind of have to lean to get to the work height. All I do is this. Now I can make the work any height I want. You know, this stuff is strong, but you gotta weld it everywhere. See, I've seen some people that weld it like here and then like skip a bunch of pieces. There's no strength like that. When it's like this, it's fine. All right, this should be the last time I have to take this off of here.
Nah, nah, we don't want that. Oh, that's that's kind of tricky in a way, but it's you could count it as a blessing sometimes when you get it. Like me, I do. I count it sometimes like good. That means it doesn't look have a hard line unless I mean it to. Sometimes if you have a hard line, people are gonna say, "Oh, how'd you paint that?" Really, I don't care what anybody thinks.
Not good enough.
Let's get
There's some aluminum here.
overspray underneath of it. It doesn't matter.
Right there.
Well, this, if I sell it, I sell it. If I don't, I don't. But if I'm doing one for somebody,
Bent.
that's when it really matters.
Where? Hey,
I
send me
mean,
that.
if it's a commission,
All right, I
not
just need to find a
if I'm
crank.
giving it
Okay,
to
but
them.
I don't have one right now, so a brake is a tool that you could use to bend this, and it would do a perfect job of it. But let's see if we can use a pallet.
See, I want just a little bit of past what I wanted to.
And measure the angle. Doing anything. And this place is a little too long in the back, right here. Now, the wires they give you are pretty long. You know, I've seen people do this and they'll just leave a coil of wire like that to tie it to the frame or something. That looks pretty sloppy. So what I'm going to do is cut these wires and get it to the right length.
Ah, you had storms around there?
This is supposed to be hooked to ignition power for the winch to work. So noticing we have a keyed ignition right here on this hour meter, which this hour meter doesn't work. So let's try to fix that too. The hour meter gets power. So if you put this on power, now this is your touch your ground. So alright, so the hour meter has no ground. So that's probably why that's not working. Let's turn off the ignition. Let's see if that light goes off. taped up. Hang on.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Look where they have this ground wire going.
Okay.
And going to the positive. No wonder it doesn't work. So I just moved this wire over to the negative side. And plug it into this hour gauge. Alright, not lighting up. Alright, it says 442 hours. So I don't know how many, that's the first time that's ever worked. So, that's good. That will be good for service. It's time to clean this up. Let me take that out of there. These are junk, these things. Don't ever use these. Because they work.
I gotta come back over this dress anyway, y'all.
And then it can
Just
be pretty
putting
hard
this
to find out
on
when
here.
they're not
It's a lighter blue,
have been used.
but for what it's doing, I'm liking it.
See, even these,
It's supposed to be darker than that.
this is the fuse for the lights and that. Yeah, I wouldn't use that.
So now I'm practically going by what's on here instead of what's on there.
It'll fail.
The text monsters.
This thing, everything's working. So here's the wire.
The text monsters.
And everything's tied, so it's not moving in position, so it shouldn't ever get ripped off. So I mounted the winch solenoid right here. So that's hooked up. The I cleaned up some stuff in the battery department a little bit. Everything I did, I soldered, and most of it I used string tube because that's the only way to make an electrical connection and have it actually.
Alright.
Here, so.
I'm liking that.
So well done. I ordered a light bar for up there. It's about the width of the vehicle, so I'm waiting for that to come. And inside the cab, the new switches I added. This is a 35 amp switch for the big light bar. That's for that small light bar. And this is for the reverse lights and dash lights that somebody added. Alright, and this thing's all done. Alright, so the bumper winch light bar project was a success. I'm happy with how that turned out.
Yeah, the wrinkles in the clothes and that. If you, when you're doing the clothes and that, if you take it as how the light's hitting it, that's where it's like, that's where the wrinkles are. I guess that's how you could really look at how the clothes are. Because painters, no matter how straight the clothes are supposed to be, painters think that every clothes has wrinkles in it. They don't iron their clothes or nothing. Now that way it gives a flow when you put the wrinkles on it. They don't use the shout or whatever it is, detergent to get the wrinkles out. Boy, I'm messing this up, ain't I? That's alright. Happy little accident. Alright, what else we got? There's got to be something else I could do. I may get a couple of these. Do this. Yeah, that's always nice. Now you're talking. That when somebody talks about their vision and that, I think of the song from Foreigner, I think it was. Double Vision. I see a double double. What a nice song.
One time this lady I was working with, she was telling us at work about her electric chainsaw and how she was putting gas and oil on it. And we all started saying like, wait a minute, gas and oil, what do you mean? And turns out she was putting mixed gas in with the bar oil and running the saw like that. You know, an electric chainsaw plugged in. We were so surprised that the thing didn't catch on fire when it
Damn
started
it,
it.
Bert. A little something here. There, next to that. Blinded by the light, yeah. Like a
That
block
should be fine.
smaller than my fingernail. There is one right there too. Well, there's two of them. Let's do one up here. A little one there. I did a big one going down there, so that's alright. Do a little one here. And you could do something like this here. Yeah. Something so small can make such a big impact. That's for sure. And you're like, should I do it? It's only a little thing.
Doesn't look like anything on the camera. In real life, you can see, but it's pretty dark. Here's the light bar in the bumper. That's nice. It lights up the area immediately in front of you. Here's the light bar on the roof. And that pretty much lights up everything. And then the lights to the rear.
Nobody gonna see it. Nobody gonna tell you they see it, but they'll see it.
Alright, so I've had this thing a couple months now. I just had it out riding the other day.
They don't even know they see it.
One issue that kind of arose, this thing kind of sits too low to the ground, and we were going pretty fast down some rocky trail, and pretty much just bottomed out and crashed into nothing, essentially, a few times. Just rocks sticking up, hitting the frame, going like 30 miles an hour, and it being a pretty violent stop. So I'll put it up on the lift and show you, but I probably want to change this aluminum plate. So I want to try to get this thing sitting a little higher. So I have a few different things.
Okay.
So I just got some new shocks. These are supposed to be stiffer, so that should help with the added weight.
Let's put something here.
Winch from that bumper. Now the bumper didn't really weigh much, but the winch definitely added some weight. And I got just a lift kit in the stock here, and I have some control on my guard. And I got this is a dust cover they call it, and that should help make it quieter. Alright, so let's get all this stuff installed. So the goal is to get this thing high enough off the ground. So let's see how high it is right now. So we are at about 9 inches. And we want the suspension stiffer, so let's see how that is. So standing on the front bumper.
It's
I was jumping as hard as I could. Alright, so let's do some more to it and see what changes it makes. Alright, so here's the original shock and here's the aftermarket shock I ordered. This is supposed to be 10% stiffer.
that. Just a little bit Just adding these blue dots. Give it some pizzazz. Pizzazz. Yeah, we'll do one in the middle here.
Alright, let's see if this thing feels any thicker. I don't know, feels about the same. Let's see if it's sitting any higher. No, exactly the same. Alright, so I got these brackets here to lift this thing up a little bit.
Ooh. That's enough of holding my breath. Hold your breath when you got it that small. It's like, oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh.
Alright, well, normally I wouldn't be a fan of doing something like this, but crashing into the ground a few times the other day was pretty frustrating. So we'll see how this goes. I'm a little worried it's going to crack right here, because this mount, raising it up like that is putting a weird stress on it. Plus, it's not great for these CV joints. I can always undo it, so let's see what happens. Thing that I know is disappearing. See, there's supposed to be a
Yeah, I
bar
bet
here
you with
on this side, but this is just
sometimes
a bar.
holding them
So I got this metal
little pieces
that looks like
and that, and then hitting it with the paintbrush and that. Thank God they came up with the, what is it, hemostats where you can hold. You got it in the holder, sticking up like that, holding the pieces for you.
crazy. That crash, like 3 times it happened. We were flying and just hit nothing. It sucked. It was such a
Even
violent
touching
pop.
them with a tape, touching them with a paintbrush,
Trim these off and try
I'd be
that.
like, yeah. The little figurines, Hot Wheel cars I was doing. Okay, next color. I could do yellow or dark blue. Maybe the darker blue a little bit. Because I want to do darker blue in here. Yeah, since I got blue in the gun, I could go to darker blue. Then I could go to yellow to give my little shading areas. Kind of got to go to that pink a lot more. Then add some lines. Add some lines. Add the line. I look at this painting. Them, he's got like the brush. To me, it's straight lines. A lot is just straight lines in that. Go up in here. It's like a trace of black lines where I went with the paintbrush and just put it in there. The colors all blend into it. It's like a crown set in a way.
the oil's right there. That's good.
I gotta go to the little boy's room. I'll be right back.
All right. So another thing I got to attempt to make it quieter is this thing. Alright, so it's got this nice thick cover right here, plus it covers all this area and goes under the seats, and it's got this storage bag here, which is pretty nice. So that should definitely make it quieter. Alright, so the lift kit and new shocks are in. Let's see if it's any stiffer. And we have 10 inches off the ground, so that was 9 before, so that's a good extra inch. Alright, let's take it for a test drive. Let's see if the thing's any quieter with that new dust shield in it. Let's try it over. Alright, so now let's try full throttle acceleration. Alright, so with the lift kit and this new springs, the thing definitely sits a little
Yeah, it's
higher,
change of
a little
piece,
stiffer,
that's
so
for
that's good.
sure.
Let's try to get this thing stuck on purpose and test out the wind.
That's gonna be the tricky ones. Coming down here by Rise and that, it's always a little tricky for me. Then I want to do the shadow, like a little shadow going there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's just like how these pieces go on there and that shadow there, like a light shadow going across her nose in a way.
Now let's watch it get stuck.
I think I pretty much got most of the skin done the way I want the skin to look. According to this picture, it's really light skinned and that. Mine got like a tan and that. And then it got the shadows of everything going down here too. I want to do that, try to get that some of that in right down in this area.
Let's just test this wind.
And then I didn't notice this. I might end up putting that piece in. I like that piece. There. That's not hard with the paintbrush, but the airbrush is completely different. But these guys got so much experience at it. Like I say, I only been doing this for maybe 4 years. I think 4 years might be it. 4 or 3 years. And some of it now I just retired, but the other 3 years or 3 plus years, no, 3 plus months, uh, was always on Saturdays and Sundays. I could only do the airbrush because during the week I was working. So in the evenings and that, I didn't feel like messing with doing airbrush. It's like Scott McKay. He's so good because he was doing he was doing T-shirts. A lot of them were doing T-shirts at the time for a living, and I was nowhere around this. Painting cars didn't have nothing to do with airbrush. Some guys are really good at did T-shirts or shirts. Steve, I think Steve was the same way too. I mean, he did T-shirts.
The shocks are a little bit stiffer and so a little bit more ground clearance. What I'd like to do now is maybe try some bigger tires on it. So I actually have this four-wheeler
Some
here
people
that I
could
bought,
pick it up and just go to
and
town
got
with
these
it.
big super swampers on it, and they're a little too
Not
big
this
for
kid.
the four-wheeler. They kind of rub on the fenders.
I'm a
So
little
I
late
figured
to
I'd
the
try it
party.
on the Rhino. And I have, this is the
All
Rhino
right,
size
I should do it.
tire for that
Why I
four-wheeler.
got
So
that in the
those
gun. Do a
on here.
couple of light
All
spots
right,
up in
let's see if we can
here.
get these installed on there. All right, these front rims might just fit on this thing. That would be nice. I don't think the backs are gonna though.
Now he's coming around by the jaw and that. At least take one of the light one around there.
Okay, so size difference. These are 26.912s. These are 26.12.12. So it's wider, but the height should be the same.
Get
But for
right
whatever
by
reason,
the
these Super
eye.
Swampers, Super Swamper must have used a different tape measure than Duro Power Graph. I don't know, whatever these are. So, I mean, they're bigger, even though they're the same size. So does it fit?
Now to hold this up here
Looks like it.
would be a good idea.
Alright, so this shot.
I don't want to get too far. I want to
This
go
one's
up
pretty
higher.
bad on that tire. You know, that may have fit if that lift kit wasn't
Right
on
about there. Ooh,
Alright,
right there.
look at this though. If I use these
So
rims
if I
right
do
way,
this,
here, this rim,
now watch, this is gonna be a tricky part I'm gonna
is
do.
about 6 inches.
Do this.
And this one's like 4, so
I'm gonna take a magnet,
tires on these rims may work.
try to hold it right there. Now take another magnet. Ah. Well, I just broke that magnet. I gotta glue that magnet now. Let's do it. I gotta take it off of here to do it. Do it like that. Do it like that. Ah, you can't see me holding it. Here, I'll focus you down. So I got the magnet right there. Magnet right there on the back. So now I can set it up there and not hold it. That's why I had a magnet there, extra magnet. So I have 2 magnets here. That's holding the glass out for me. So now I have, see how it's got the little lip going that way? I have a little thing right there. I'm going to follow that. And I'm going to go close to there. And I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this. Oh, off screen. Okay. See how the magnet's holding them because I got a magnet on the back. But you see how it's got like a little curve right there. That's what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get that together. But I'm going to use this curve I got going, and then I'll try hold this together. So do that or do the big one? Nah, maybe I'll do this one. And I'll hold this here and try to do it like that. Right there. Gotta clean the glasses off. Yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get that piece. Watch. A little bit tricky, but it's different shooting the stuff on glass, not a metal, not a piece of paper where I have it stuck to my Visionaire. Alright, get this going. There, let's see. Like I said, I want this and that piece to match up just a little bit. And you gotta watch it now. Hit that. Probably should have put 2 magnets on there.
But it's good. How's the other way? That's good. It's yeah, no, it's yeah, alright, that's sweet. Let's
A big head's gonna be in the way. Let's see what happens. I'll probably have to come back over some other colors, some more black I gotta do in this area. Basically, I want to get the shape of this one. Real skinny one going right by this black.
Alright, one thing I want to do to this is it throws mud all over its house. That's very frustrating. I think if I put some wider fenders on here, that would fix that problem. So let's get it cleaned up and then get some fenders on this thing. A couple of these tires had slow leaks. It was kind of for a few reasons. One, they were new tires. Some of them had some dry rot cracks that were actually leaking, and the beads were kind of messed up on some of them too. This tires are slow leaks.
Exhale.
Usually fixes it. And it's easy to do too, and it prevents future leaks too. So definitely recommend this product. Or probably product too. This is the wrong brand of this stuff. Alright, so the last thing I want to do to this vehicle is the tires that are on here are sticking out a little bit wider than they did originally from the factory. essentially what you do is you just attach this right to the fender, and then for a cheap, easy option, you have that much more coverage to keep the vehicle from throwing mud at itself, and it looks really nice too. So, and it comes in different widths. So I'm gonna put the link in the description for this stuff, because really you can add this to everything, and it'll keep your vehicle so much cleaner and keep salt off of it. And this stuff is pretty awesome. I'm very happy I just found this. Link it on here to kind of show you. So it comes in different widths. I think this is 2¼ but you see if I still hold this piece of wood up to it, the tire is still sticking out past it. So I'm sure that would help, but not enough. So then I got this wider width here too. I think this is like 4½. It's pretty wide. You know, that is pretty wide. I'll trim this at an angle here. But now with that, to hold this up to it, and look, we got a gap here. This is sticking out further than the tire. Having this on here should keep the vehicle much cleaner. So the way the hood opens, I kind of have to cut it here too. So let's see what I can do with installing this stuff. Alright, so for the mounting hardware, I'm just using 1/4" bolts.
Yeah, tip's right. And the way it's coming now, they're going. It's kind of dry on the inside.
Alright, so it's because this hood opens, so and obviously this doesn't open with the hood, so these need to be separated here. So, you know, I'm not thrilled about making that seam, but that's just kind of what I need to do. I mean, that's gonna look a drop weird, but. Okay, so for attaching to the steel tubing, I'm gonna use these self-drilling screws. Okay, this is that spot where I got stuck and had to winch out, so I'm gonna make it this time.
I think that's where the magnet hit. I'm gonna watch that. So it's in a black area. I should have realized I was putting a magnet on top of the glass. Gotta watch that sometime.
Alright, cool. I didn't get stuck that time. Well, sorta, but I didn't have to winch. That was the goal. That is not an easy mud pit right there. So the other thing, I just put these fenders on here. That's nice. The vehicle is actually clean after spinning its tires in the mud. You know, the windshield's perfectly clean and the whole thing. So that's going to make this thing much more comfortable to operate because it won't be throwing mud all over itself and all over the glass and all over the operator. So I'm definitely happy with these fender flares. Alright, so I'm going to kind of end this video now. I've had this thing a few months and kind of went over all, brought it out riding a bunch of times, talked about those experiences, and filmed all the upgrades and stuff I've done to it and the repairs. So as a review, this thing is definitely cool. It combines the right amount of being a work vehicle with it being a play vehicle. You know, you can take it out riding on four-wheeler trails, have a lot of fun with it. Plus, it's a very handy thing to have around the yard with its little dump body. It's easy to get in and out of. It's low range. It's trailer hitch. So it's definitely cool. It's also fun that a bunch of my friends all also bought side-by-sides at the same time. And it's also kind of interesting that everyone bought something different. So going with all those different machines, you kind of get to experience all of them. So this is a Yamaha Rhino. It's an 06. They don't make I think now it's called a Viking or a Wolverine or something. The only complaint I had with this thing was how loud it was. The few things I did to it to make it quieter saved it, so it's good now. My friend got the Black Kawasaki T-Rex. That thing's pretty nice. I like that. My friend bought that Kimco, which is almost identical to this Rhino. It's like there's parts that are just interchangeable. I think Rhino or Yamaha sold out the rights to copy this vehicle to other brands or something like that. That's how similar they are. So that Kimco's definitely been good. Some of my friends who bought the Pure Sport machines, I'm definitely a lot less impressed with those. They're not really useful for work. The razors don't have the Polaris razors don't have a dumping body. They don't really like going slow as much. It's much more of a toy vehicle, so for me that would make it a much harder thing to justify buying. My other friend bought a YXZ 1000 and it's a Yamaha and it's a very fast machine and he spent like 20 grand on the thing, but with its standard transmission, it's not that impressive. Yeah, it's faster, but like when you're on these tight trails, like we're riding, here anyway, he's not going any faster than us. And plus, with his standard transmission, that thing's harder to operate. Plus, his clutch broke on it, and the thing's only 2 years old or 1 year old. So I'm not super impressed with that one. Another one of my friends, he bought a Cub Cadet, and it's a vehicle that looks like this, but it's more of a work vehicle than a play vehicle, and it's good for working around the yard. But it has a solid rear axle instead of an intense suspension, and it's just so much slower than this thing. It just doesn't handle right. Another one of my friends bought a Honda Pioneer 500, and it's another similar vehicle to this, but it's just too slow. The 500cc engine is too small.
Ugh.
We all ride for real.
Hey.
It can't hang with these things. This thing, the Kimco, the T-Rex, they can go as fast.
Yeah, we'll call it quits here on the
Really,
feed.
the Pure Sport
Been
models
almost
can't
2 hours
slow
now.
down
Yeah.
they're on, like, blacktop or
Yeah,
something.
we'll
They'll
call
just
quits
wait
here
off
for
on
today.
tight trails.
I thank you for coming on by, Patty. And all of you who's watching it later on to that, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and do me a favor. And you'll get to see me finish this up. And that'll be it for today. Like I said, I'm going to try to get Maybe I'll try to get some of it done during the week next week. But I'll definitely be working on it some more. All right. So I'll see you all later. Bye.